Welcome, greetings, Ras Report, head of the time, InInational, InInational Justice. Facebook's acquired a make of a mobile app that can track the distance customers walk or run and measure the calories burnt, giving the social networking company more into the fitness and health monitoring technology. So, you know, this month's Babylonian magazine, you see it, MINDCRAFT. Check it out, see what they got to say. So basically what they're saying is we need a procedure to be able to manipulate people's minds. Okay? This procedure they have right now is called DBS. Basically what they explain it as is it's a way to interrupt the abnormal conversations that are going on in people's brains. $3 million was donated last year from Mark Zuckerberg and other Silicon Valley achievers for research into this kind of developments, as well as $100 million from President Barack Drone Obama for the Brain Initiative. We're forging really great advances in almost every disorder you look at both neurology and psychiatry. Again, you know, if your philosophy is not in line with the Babylonian philosophies, they say something's wrong with you. They say, you know, it's explainable. Just say everything, man, you know, under the earth is explainable to man. This is the way man thinks. You know, if there's a planet out there, you know, it's explainable. We can explain where it came from. We can explain what's going to happen to it in 100 million years. We can explain, you know. And it's like, you know, again, the idea is the miracles. You know, you have to go back to the book and you have to look at the miracles that were performed by the Christ. Man cannot accept those miracles, but yet he wants to try to put these false miracles in front of people every day to get people to accept that and to be able to depend on man for man's ways. Remember, that's man's ultimate goal, is to get everyone's heart, mind, and soul. That's man's goal. See? And the Christ goal is the same. For us to serve the Christ with all our heart, our mind, and our soul. So even DARPA wants involved now. DARPA, Department of Defense, is launching a 5-year effort specifically targeting 4 neuropsychiatric conditions: PTSD, major depression, borderline personality disorder, and general anxiety disorder, as well as traumatic brain injury, addiction, and chronic pain. So again, you know, you know, if you're not aligned with the Babylonian philosophy, something must be wrong with you. And we can fix that too. Now all they need is for it to be written in laws, but to be mandated. And that's what part of this drone bomber care comes from, because it's the first step in. You know, they introduce things that are not natural, that are not abiding by the natural laws. See? And then they get you to break those laws little by little, because that's where the Father becomes ashamed and turns his face from you. And then what happens? Well, then you won't abide by any laws, because you won't have that spiritual value, the principle intact. See? You have to have that foundation. So these two guys are working on it. They say the technology's, you know, right now it's underdeveloped. Got a lot of work to do, but you know, they're very optimistic. You know, they worked on a woman recently, and they tickled her region near her nucleus accumbens, a part of the brain associated with pleasure, reward, motivation, and other complex phenomena. Describe what you're feeling right now, Cone says, with an ecstatic smile on her face, in a voice giddy with joy. The woman replies, "I feel happy." So, you know, again, if it ain't about alleviating people's pain. It's about delivering pleasure to people. But you have to remember, you can't have pleasure without pain. If you just have endless pleasure and no pain, certainly that pleasure will not have the same effect on you positively, you know, to bring you those feelings of satisfaction, because you won't understand what being dissatisfied is. Try having pleasure without pain. Try. What do you find pleasurable? Okay? If you did that every second of the day, every year, for the rest of your life, do you really think in your deathbed you'd have a big smile on your face? If you're not dysfunctional, should you be able to get functional surgery? So again, you know, they're telling the reader, hey, you know, this isn't just for people that don't agree with our philosophy, but this is for you too if you want to improve yourself and become more in touch with our ways. It's total sorcery. Situation in Ukraine heated up this week. New world forces killed several citizens outside a sucker-free stronghold in eastern Ukraine on Thursday. It's part of a renewed offensive to regain control of the rest of the region, prompting Russia to begin military exercises again on the side of the border. It's heightened tensions. They say the agreement's crumbling. President Barack Obama said, we're going to impose additional costs. And again, remember the capital system. This is how they do this, how they manipulate people and steer people in their direction, is by imposing these certain costs and always associating every move with capital, because that's that pleasure and pain. But see, what they want to do is transform that, the capital processes, into a digital process. It used to be the slave trade, the labor and the slave trade, and they told these people, that God was white. You understand? That's what they told them. And so, and by doing that, they began to manipulate people's minds and to be able to make people believe that the truth was that the superior capitalists, the imperialists, were closer to Jah, and that the other people were poor, and they would remain poor because that's the way that it was written. But it wasn't written that way. See, that was all fabricated through man's sin. And remember, Satan was the murderer and the liar. He was the liar. And he was so good that he always believed his own lies. Right? So that's what the culture that we talk about the South now, and you talk about the racism that exists. Again, I say classism is the real problem, because it's those house Negroes and those field Negroes, and they're playing them off of one another. And the bottom, if you go to the trailer park or the projects, people don't have the ability to get out of those places. So what do they do when they want to come up? They have to steal from one another. And by doing that, they create the strife, they create the resentment that they never get out of. I mean, it's the perfect solution for the capital man that sits at the top of the tower. And he can monitor everything. Everything's going towards surveillance now, and towards the chip, the RFID is what they're going for the most, and we just covered that. But this is dangerous with this New World Order, because you have this philosophy that is going to prevail. And it's really this technological philosophy. But again, the technology is not being used in the right places for the right things. There are certain companies, for sure, that still produce quality products, and the products continue to decrease. I'll give you an example. The stereo market. You can get high quality stereo equipment for your vehicle or for your house, for relatively cheap. Also, we're seeing a reduction in reading material. But again, that reduction is supplemented with a lot of disillusionary disinformation that's projected in order to purposely confuse people and discourage people from searching and digging and searching on their own to uncover the truths. Getting back to the situation in Ukraine, so they want to impose costs. Again, they're going to tie everything to capital and try to run people's decisions that way.